Welcome everyone to Sunday weekly Dhamma session. Today we will be listening to Venerable Bhante Nyanarakkhita on the topic How to Have Spiritual Progress. Venerable Bhante Nyanarakkhita is associated with Maha Bodhi Society, Bangalore, India. As a director, he had helped with all the monastery activities. He stayed as a novice under Venerable Bhante Acharya Buddha Rakhita for 5 years and got full ordination in 2010. Currently, he lives in Dallas, Texas, in Brahma Vihar Monastery. May I please request you, Bhante, for today's Dhamma talk?
Namo Buddhaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Buddha, homage to the Dhamma, homage to the Sangha. And giving metta to all the devotees, loving kindness to all the people around the world, loving kindness to all beings. Today I brought a Dhamma talk from Dhammapada, the Gatha number 7 and 8. And this Gatha basically speaks about the sloth. How if we have this sloth, how this can be easily destroy the spiritual progress. It can be to anybody, not just for the monks. It can be for the lay devotees also. So the Buddha pronounced these two words. So number one is the Buddha says, Subha nupasing viharantang Indriyesu asangutang bhojanam hi jamattanyu kusitang hi naviriyang tang ve pasahati maro vaturukkang vadubbalang. This is the first gatha. So second gatha is Asubha nupasing viharantang Indriyesu susangutang bhojanam hi jamattanyu Saddhang arada viryang tang ve nappasahati maro vato selang va pabbatang. So these gathas, two gathas, plays a very important role in our spiritual progress, in our spiritual path. So the meaning, before I explain about this gathas meaning, let us go to the story, the incident which had happened during the time of the Buddha with the two brothers. So the incident goes in this way while residing in the neighborhood of the town of Setavya. Setavya is, I think, it is near somewhere nearby Savatthi, I don't know. So when the Buddha was staying there, the Buddha used these two gatha, pronounced these two gatha with reference to the Mahakala and his brother Chulakala. Chulakala, Majjimakala, and Mahakala were three householders who lived in Setavya village. And they were brothers. Chulakala and Mahakala, the oldest and the youngest respectively, used to travel abroad with their caravan of 500 carts and bring home goods to sell. And Majjimakala sold the goods they brought. Now, on certain occasions, the two brothers, taking wares of various kinds in their 500 carts, set out for Savatthi, and halting between Savatthi and Jetavana, unharnessed their carts. In the evening, Mahakala saw noble disciples, the Upasaka and Upasika, the devotees, residents of Savathis, with garlands and perfumes in their hands, going to hear the law, they're going to hear the Dhamma. So he asked, where are you going? He asked the people. Then he received the answer that they were going to hear the law. That means they are going to hear the Dhamma from the Buddha. So he thought to himself, I will also go. So he addressed his youngest brother, Dear brother, keep watch over the gods. I'm going to hear the law. I'm going to hear the Dhamma. So saying, he went and paid obeisance and respects to the Buddha and sat down in outer circles of the congregations, somewhere in the corner. So on that day, the teacher preached, the teacher taught the Dhamma in orderly sequence with reference to the Mahakala's dispositions of his mind, and quoting the sutta, especially quoting the sutta on 5 aggregates, that is Rupa Khanda, Vedana Khanda, Sanya Khanda, Sankara Khanda, and Vijnana Khanda, the form phenomena, feeling phenomena, perception phenomena, mental formation phenomena, and consciousness phenomena. So based on that, the Buddha taught the Dhamma, seeing the dispositions of the mind of Mahakalas. And he also taught the Dhamma on Asubha Bhavana, sinfulness and the folly, and also contamination of sensual pleasures. Mahakala, after listening to the discourse, became a monk under the teacher, because after listening to the Dhamma talk from the Buddha, he got so suffused and so faith towards the Buddha, and he understood the certain realities of the life. So out of that curiosity and out of that understanding, he became a monk. So Chulakala also heard that his elder brother has become a monk. So he thought he also will become a monk. But he became a monk not out of faith. He became a monk keeping in the mind that he will become a layman after a few days, and also that he will bring back his elder brother with him. So with this planning, he became a monk. And then after becoming monk also, Chulakala does not practice the meditation, and he used to spend lots of time in the gossip. So somewhat what happened later on, Mahakala made his full profession as a monk, so he thought that he should be a monk for all his lifetime. And one day he goes to the Buddha and asks him, how many duties are there in this Buddha Shasana? How many duties? The teacher informed him that there are 2. Then said Mahakala then said to the Buddha, Venerable Sir, since I became a monk in old age, I shall not be able to fulfill the duty of study, but I can fulfill the duty of contemplations. So he had a teacher instructed him in the practice of meditation in cemetery, which leads to the arahantship. So this meditation subject was given to the Mahakala, especially to contemplate on the body. That is also that has to be done in the cemetery. So this can be very sometimes scary and then sometimes fearful also for the beginner. And then we need a very advanced and experienced teacher like Buddha and the perfect one, and the monks also we need. But if we don't have to do this. Since Mahakala has a guidance from the Buddha, so Buddha directly, and Buddha also know his mind that this is the special, this is the subject that can make him arahant. So that's why the Buddha gave him this meditation subject based on Asubha Bhavana that has to be done in the cemetery. So at the end of the first watch, when everyone else was asleep, he went to the cemetery, and at dawn, before everyone else had risen, he returned to the monastery. Now a certain young woman of the village was attacked by the disease, and the very moment the disease was attacked her, she died in the evening without a sign of old age or weakness. So what happened in the evening, her relatives and kinsfolks and friends brought her body to the burning ground, with firewood, oil, and other requisites. And they said to the keeper of the burning ground, "So please burn this body," and paying the keeper the usual fee, they turned the body over to her and departed. When the keeper of the burning ground removed the woman's dress and beheld her beautiful golden-hued body, she straightway thought to herself, "This corpse is a suitable subject of meditation for the Mahakala Bhante." So she went and told Mahakala about the body, and she went and paid respects to the Bhante and said about this. Then Venerable Mahakala said, "Very well, keep the body." So he went and caused the dress which covered the corpse to be removed and surveyed the body from the soles of the feet to the tips of the hair. Then he said, "Throw this beautiful golden-hued body into the fire, and as soon as the tongues of the fire laid hold of it, please tell me." So saying, he went to his own place and sat down. The keeper of the burning ground did as she was told, and went and informed the Venerable. The Venerable came and surveyed the body. When the flames had touched the flesh, the color of her body was like that of a mortal cow. The feet stuck out and hung down. The hands were curved back. The forehead was without skin. The Venerable thought to himself, "This body which but now caused those who looked thereon to forget the sacred word, has but now attained decay, has but now attained death." And going to his night quarter, and he sat down, discerning clearly decay and death. Mahakala developed a spiritual insight and attained arahantship together with the supernatural powers. So basically, he did was before minutes ago, before putting the body into the fire, her skins of the body was like a golden and beautiful. The moment the body went to the fire, it got so changed, the fire. And the moment the monk saw these changes, he contemplated on this, the reality of the body. Then after contemplating on that, he became an arahant together with the supernatural powers. So what happened after that? When Mahakala attained arahantship, the Buddha, surrounded by the congregation of monks traveling from place to place, arrived at Setavya and entered the Sinsapa forest. Chulakala's wives, hearing that the Buddha had arrived, thought to themselves, "Now we shall recover our husband." So they went and invited the Buddha. Now, when a visit is expected from the Buddha, it is customary for a single monk to go in advance and give a warning for the preparations. When Chulakala went home to prepare for almsgiving, his wife tore off his robes. And as for the Chulakala also, he was already ready to renounce the life of a monk, and he doesn't have an interest to be in the life of a monk also. So that's why he allowed his wives to draw off his robes. Mahakala wives also thought that they will get their husbands also to give up the robes. One day they also arranged an almsgiving for the Buddha and the disciples, and asked the Buddha to leave Mahakala behind to pronounce the formula of thanksgiving after almsgiving. So, because it is a tradition that after giving the Sanghadana, at the end of all the program, we used to dedicate the merits with all the departed and relatives and around the world. So, Mahakala, the wives, they requested the Buddha to keep the Mahakala behind for this purpose. Actually, the main purpose is that to tear off the robe from the body of the Mahakala. This was the intention from the Mahakala's wives. But the Buddha left him left the Mahakala in the home and went away with the other monks. So when the Buddha reached the village gate, the congregation of monks was offended and said, "What thing the Buddha do it? Did he do it wittingly or unwittingly? Yesterday Chulakala came and that was the end of his monastic life. But today a different monk came and nothing of the sort happened." The Buddha sent Mahakala back and continued on his way, said the monks. The Mahakala is a virtuous and upright. Will they put an end to his monastic life? Will it be possible by his wife? So the wife, they came and tried to tear off the robe of the Mahakalas, but Mahakala was not an ordinary monk. He has a supernatural power. So when the wife came to tear off the robe from the body of the Mahakala, he instantly rose into the air through his psychic power as an arhat and appeared before the Buddha. As he was reciting these two words, Mahakala paid respects to the Buddha, and Buddha told the other monks that they were wrong about Arahat Mahakala to compare with the monk Chulakala. Then the Buddha pronounced these two gatha: Subhanupasing viharantang indriyesu asangvutang bhojanam hi chamattanyung kusitang hina viriyam tangve pasahati maro vatu rukhang vadubbalam. So the Buddha gives an example here, that the example is a weak tree. What happened to this weak tree? When the storm comes, it can be easily uprooted. It can be easily destroyed. Not just a tree, even let us take to the house. If the house is not properly founded, given proper foundations, and does not have proper pillars, does not have proper design and proper planning, it can be easily destroyed by the storm or any kinds of natural calamities. So the Buddha here, what he says in the Vatu Rukhang va Dubbalang, but Buddha use here Vatu Rukhang va Dubbalang means very weak. Rukhang means the weak tree. It can be destroyed by the storm very easily. So also, if our mind is weak, Mara can easily defeat you and torture you and brings you down. So Buddha says, when we become weak, the Buddha says, Subhanupasing viharantam. So the Buddha here used the Subhanupasing viharantam. What happened? We always see the beauty of this body, so with the attachment to the body. So the Buddha says here Subhanupasing means seeing the beauty of the body with the attachment, with the craving, not with understanding. So the Buddha says if one have a craving and attachment towards the body with lots of craving and attachment, then such kind of mentality, such kind of person can be easily uprooted by the Mara, the Kilesa, the defilements. So this is one reason. So second reason is the Buddha says Subhanupasing vihara indriyesu asangvutam. So the Buddha says a person also does not have control over the senses. Indriyesu, the five senses. We have these five senses. A person does not control these five senses. They also can be easily uprooted by the easily bring down by the Mara, like the weak tree is uprooted by the storm. So this is also a second reason. So third reason the Buddha give Bhojanam hi amattanyung. So a third reason the Buddha gave is a person does not have control in the food. That means having a loss of greed, not control. Anytime he eats, So it keeps on eating. He is a servant. He became a servant to the taste. So such kinds of person also can be easily defeated by the Mara. So this is the third reason. So the fourth reason the Buddha gave is kusitang hina viriyam. Kusitang means lazy. Hina viriyam means a person does not do anything bodily level, mentally level. He is so weak, so lazy, indolent, and filled with dullness and perplexity. So such kind of person can be easily uprooted. Even in the Parabhava Sutta also, the Buddha gave, if a person is lazy, he not only, he does not able to make a progress in the material life also, not just in the spiritual, he does not able to make a progress in the material life also. The Buddha said, Nidhasili sabhasili anuttata chayo naro alaso koda panya no tang para bhavatu mukham. Such kinds of persons are easily defeated in the life if he is lazy, indolent, and easily anger, short temper. So such kinds of persons are easily defeated in the life. Forget about the spiritual progress. So this is the fourth reason the Buddha gave that we are easily defeated by the kilesa, mara, defilements in the mind. Here mara is not the ghost or bodily devil people that they come and disturb somebody. No, mara we already have in our mind. We all have in our mental level. So it is called, there are like 5 kinds of mara. So out of 5, the kilesa mara is one of them. So kilesa means defilements. So this greed, hatred, lazy, and then not having any control. So these are kinds of mara for us, which is always with us in our mind. So these kinds of mara can easily overcome us and does not allow us in the spiritual progress. So the Buddha says this. So such kind of person is easily uprooted by the mara like a weak tree. And the second gatha, the Buddha says here, Asubha nupasing viharantang indriyesu susangvutang bhojanam he chamattanyu saddhang aradha viriyam tangve nappasahati maro vato selang vapabbatang. Sorry. So here the Buddha used another example like a rocky mountain. So very heavy mountain, like a huge mountain, or let us say huge house, which has a proper foundations, good planning, which cannot be easily destroyed by the winds or storm or natural calamities. But the Buddha used here Selang wa Pabbatang. Pabbatang means the mountain. These mountains, these cannot be shaken easily by the winds or natural calamities or the storm. They stood very strong. So also the person who always asubha anupasin lives contemplating on the realities of the body. So realities of the body means to contemplate the natural reality of the body, not out of negativity, not out of to raise the aversions towards the body. No, it is to understand the reality of the body, what actually exists the body is. Is it really beautiful, or is it really ugly, or is it really what we don't know? So we cannot bring a lot of aversion by thinking the body is ugly also. We should not crave for the body also by thinking this body and face is beautiful also. The main reason the Buddha says is asubha anupasing. So to think the reality of the body is not to arise cravings towards the body. So basically what happened in this world now, people are fighting. One reason also out of craving for the beauty of the body. So this is also one reason we can find in the history lots of wars are fought in the future just for the craving for the body also. So the Buddha says here, Asubha Anupasing, to reflect on the repulsiveness of the body. So in the Asubha Bhavana, the Buddha gave the 32 parts of the Buddha to be reflected again and again by a wise person, like Kesa, Loma, Nakha, Danta, Tacho, Mangsang, Naharo, Ati, Atiminjang, Wakang, Hadayang, Yakanang, Kilo, Makang, Pihakang, Papasang, Antang, Antagunang, Udariyang, Karisang, Pitang, Semhang, Pubbo, Lohitang, Sedo, Medo, Aso, Vasa, Kelo, Singhanika, Lasika, Muttanti. So these are the 32 parts of the body which we should reflect it upon again and again to bring the wise contemplation, to bring the awareness into the mind, so that we will not build a craving towards the body all the time. So like so Kesa, Loma, Naka means the hair of the head, and the body hairs, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, diaphragm, spleen, lungs, intestine, mesentery, contents of the stomachs, excrements, brain, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, grease, saliva, snot, fluid of the joints, and urine. So whenever you think about this, you can become very mindful of the realities of the body. So when you know the realities of the body, there should not be the craving. So the craving should not be there. So when we think this reality, it is to bring the awareness and mindfulness of the reality of the body, not to arise the aversions towards the body, no. So it is a very important subject which is taught by the Buddha. So this Asubha Bhavana is only taught by the Buddha, no other teacher. Especially this was taught for the young monks and nuns during the time of the Buddha to cut off the craving for the body. Because what happens when we are young, at the age of 16, 17, 18, 20, it is very hard for them, not just for the monks, for everybody, to control the lust in the thoughts. So that's why the Buddha brings this topic of meditation for the young monk. So after all, it can be done by everybody also. So this is very good meditation, the best meditation, and then we need a very advanced and experienced teacher also to guide us part by part. Sometimes it is difficult also. So this it is said that Asubha Bhavana is taught only by the Buddha, no other teachers. So it is we are very fortunate to have this Asubha Bhavana. So the Buddha said this to contemplate on these 32 parts of the body. So if a person contemplate in these 32 parts of the body, their minds become very strong. They are like a mountain. They cannot be easily shaken by the Mara, Kilesa. So this is one reason. And the second reason, the Buddha said, Indriyesu Susangvutam, a person who is fully controlled in the senses, eye, nose, ears, tongues, body, and the mind's objects. So he controls in these 5 senses. So he is like a mountain, very strong, cannot be shaken by the kilesa. So Bhojanam he mattanyu, and he used to have a control in the taking the quantity, how much food I should take. It is said that to know the moderation of eating that. So let me give an example. Say for example, if you eat food daily 3 plates at a time, you should start to eat 2 plates. Or if you eat 2 plates at a time, you should eat 1 plate. So in this way, you can know the moderation of eating. So you should have a space, space in the stomach to drink a water. Normally what happens when we eat, we does not think anything, we just eat as much as we want. So the Buddha says the Mattanyuta should go. If you are eating a 4 plate a day, reduce it to 3. So one plate, in the place of 1 plate, you have a space to drink water, this and that. And then you should keep space. You should keep that space empty, the Buddha said. And then this Mattanyuta has a very huge impact in spiritual progress also. If you eat too much also, it can be very harmful for your body as well as your spiritual progress also. Sometimes, it is very difficult to breathing in and out also if you eat too much, and you cannot sit nicely also in one place. You have to take the breathing in and out from the mouth. So such is the problem if we don't have control in this food. So this is one reason. And the third reason the Buddha gave, saddhang arada virya, means he has a full faith towards oneself, towards the Buddha, and towards the Kamma and Vipaka. So with this full faith towards oneself and towards the Kamma and Buddha, he puts a lots of effort to get rid of this kilesa. So effort can be used in Samvara, Pahana, Bhavana, Anurakkana. Samvara means to control oneself from the evil, negative thoughts, unwholesome actions. Pahana means if we have any kinds of negative thoughts, evil thoughts in the mind, get it away, read it off. And then Pahana, Bhavana, if you don't have any kinds of good qualities in the mind or in the body, try to develop it. Anurakkana means if you have any kinds of good things in the mind, and if you have the spiritual in the mind, keep it protected. So this is the real point of having this virya. Sometimes virya can be very, we don't know if how to use this effort. So we use lots of effort through bodily, but we don't know the right way to make an effort. So the Buddha says samvara, pahana, bhavana, anurakkana. So basically this virya is used for negative thoughts not to come in, and try to make good within oneself. So this is the virya. So this 4 reason we should develop. So when we develop these 4 qualities within us, so mara, the kilesa, they cannot bring you down in the spiritual progress. So you also will progress in the material life also, if you follow these rules. And then you, not just in the material life, even in the spiritual life also, you will surely progress. So keeping this everything in the mind, so practice this and try to find it out within oneself, within the framework of your body. So we don't have to see the outside, this problem, that problem. So every problem should be, see in our minds and our body, because everything starts from the mind and the body. Then only it affects the world. And again, the world sometimes affect the body. So it is interdependent to one another. So keep this in the mind, dear devotees. So try to practice this asubha bhavana and have a control in these 5 senses, and have control in this food also. And then have lots of shraddha towards oneself, towards the Buddha and the Kamma and its Vipaka. So with this few words, I would like to congratulate and conclude here with the metta chanting and giving the loving kindness to all living beings and all devotees. May the power of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha surround your life with wisdom and compassion. May you all be happy and well. Sukhi hotu, Sukhi hotu. Nibbana sapachayo hotu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Venerable Bhante.